Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Prince Automation Destination. So in our exception handling series, we have so far discussed about what are exceptions, exception handling using try and catch block. We discussed about throw and throws keyword, and we discussed about finally as well. And today we are going to discuss about another important topic in exception handling, that is custom exceptions. So what is the need of custom exception, and why do we need to create a custom exception, and how to create a custom exception? This is going to be the scope of this particular session, right? So far we have whatever we have dealt with, those were system defined exceptions. What do I mean by system defined exceptions? System defined exceptions are something which are defined by system, maybe by Java or by any library. For example, null pointer exception, it would be defined by Java. And if I take an example of no such element exception, it would be defined by Selenium, right? So now let us come to the problem statement. So we have one requirement wherein we need to develop one voting system, right? Wherein user will be entering age, right? Candidate will come, and as soon as he will enter his age, we need to validate it. If age is greater than 18, then he is eligible for voting and he can cast his vote. In case he is not eligible for voting, meaning if his age is less than 18, then he is not eligible for voting and he won't be able to cast his vote, right? So when we want to validate this, that if his age is less than 17, I want to throw one exception, we want to throw one exception, right? But this kind of exception does not exist in the system. So for these kind of purposes, we need to develop our own custom exceptions to give some relevant message. So without further delay, let me jump onto the code side, right? So like let us simply come here. What we need to do, we need to right click on this and we need to create one class. Let me give it name in invalid age, right? And as soon as we write invalid as class, create invalid as class, we need to extend exception class, right? Why? Because exception is the parent of like all the exception classes or all the exceptions, right? Then what is the next step? We need to create the constructor of invalid is this particular class which we have created, right? And now what we need to do, we need to simply type in message, right? This is just a syntax, right? Why we are using this? Because I am going to pass the same message to the parent constructor. What do I mean by parent constructor? Because we have used the inheritance concept. Invalid age is extending exception, and we are, this is known as an inheritance. So in this case, when I click on this super, the control will go to, if you observe, it go to the constructor of parent class. So in this case, exception is a parent, right? So let me simply put a breakpoint here as well. We will when we'll debug it, it will give more understanding. Now coming to the system. So meaning, as per the problem statement, if you observe, right? So we needed this system, we needed to create one exception, so we created one exception for no case, right? Now we need to develop this system. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do, I have created one voting system class wherein I am using one variable int age 19, right? For now I'm keeping it hard coded, but when we'll be writing it in real time, we need to parameterize, or we need to take it from the user, right? If age is less than, for example, 18, right? This was the expectation. Then what we need to do, you are eligible and you can cast your vote. This is what we need to tell. And then after, the logic for casting the vote is written, right? Okay. Now the next step is else. If age is less than 18, then what should happen? I want to throw exception, no, throw new invalid age, right? So in this case, what will happen? You are not eligible for voting as your age is less than 18, right? So as soon as we will write this throw new invalid age, meaning we are explicitly throwing our exception that we have covered in the previous session. Using throw keyword, we can throw our own exception. Now we need to handle it. So using throws, we are handling it, right? So now we have created the custom exceptions, right? And now we are using it as well. So in this case, as of now, this is age is 19, which is like valid case. So if I run this particular program, what should happen? We will get you are eligible and you can cast your vote, right? This is what has happened. But if I change the age to 17, what will happen? So you see, you are not eligible for voting as your age is less than 18. So this is how we can create custom exceptions in Java. And this is what is the need of custom exceptions, to give some relevant message to the exception type, right? And thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more such updates. And I'll request you to please like, share and subscribe my video.